how you can start growing your own food today. Let's dive into that. Hey everyone, Dave from On Deck Gardening, and in this video I'm going to take you through just a few steps on what to look for and what you'll need so you can start growing your own food today. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I have a little bonus for everybody so you're not wasting your time growing something that you shouldn't be growing this time of the year in your area. I mean, technically right now it's July when I'm shooting this, and technically you can plant anything you want, but with this little tip I want to make sure that you're not starting any kind of plants that are going to be a waste of time for you. So with that being said, let's get into the steps. Step number one is to establish where you're going to want your garden. So for example, this is when I walk out of my back door, and you can see I have these raised beds here and I have that trellis there. I picked this area because this area gets really good sun all day long. Obviously I wouldn't pick under those palms over there, it gets a lot of shade. This area over here actually gets a lot of sun. So that's what you want to look for. And if you really want to do it right, you kind of want to just start in the morning, look outside, and then pay attention to what area gets a good amount of sun throughout the day. This area of the deck is so-so. This area gets a little shade here and there, but it gets a ton of sun. And then the rest of this area gets a whole lot of sun, which is why I picked growing everything on the deck here. And down below where I have all of my fruit trees, which go down those steps, walk down there, and then down there's where I have my fruit trees. I would not recommend, if you do have a big property, not to have your garden far away. Reason being is you're gonna forget to take care of your stuff if it's far away. Like every time I look outside, I can see my garden, and it reminds me, oh yeah, I need to do a walkthrough and I need to check for diseases and pests, or I need to actually go out there and water. So step number one is to actually look outside and decide where you're going to want your garden based off of what areas get good sun and which areas don't. Step number two is how you're going to want to grow your food. Now, if you want to do in ground, you're on the wrong channel. I've tried stuff in ground, but the problem with doing stuff in ground is you have a lot more pest problems. You can have a lot of problems with the soil. In fact, if you really want to do it right, you need to do a soil test to see what kind of nutrients are in the soil, and then you need to add the right kind of amendments to the soil. And for me, and based off of what this channel is all about, it's not really applicable for, growing stuff for survival. Now, as I said in my intro video, I bought these raised beds. I originally bought 4 of them. Now I have 6 of them. Now, if I could go back in time, would I buy them again? Maybe. The reason why is the price. These are about $100 each, and they do a great job on growing all the kind of stuff I've grown in these things. However, if I can go back in time and I did buy them, I would seal them with tung oil. Tung oil is basically a natural sealant, so it's not gonna be anything negative that goes into the soil or anything like that, because you can see, like on this one right here, they've been cracking here and there. So I don't know how much longer these things have, but to keep certain pests away, they are great. Another option are grow bags. Now, originally I bought a lot of grow bags and stuff grows okay in them. I don't think they grow spectacular, but one of the benefits, and that's why I have this fig tree in here, is it's not gonna get root bound in here. Once the roots hit the edges, it does something called air pruning. So I don't have to worry about this fig tree getting root bound and essentially, maybe not the tree dying, but it just starting to struggle. Another reason why I grew not to like grow bags is a lot of them end up like that with mold. Like, not necessarily from me watering, but during the time of the year where we do get some rain and these get soaked, this tends to happen. Now, I honestly could have taken care of them better. I could have tried scrubbing this stuff off as it started to grow on there. But I also found out with grow bags that stuff doesn't grow as well because of that whole air pruning thing. And they're not as deep as they should be. So what I have personally grown to love are food safe 5-gallon buckets. Everything that I have grown in these 5-gallon buckets, and I've gone through everything that I've grown in grow bags grows a lot better in these. Now again, the grow bags have a purpose. That's why I have that fig tree in that grow bag, is because I don't want it to get root bound. But for seasonal stuff, these work perfect. And all you got to do is drill holes in the bottom when you get these. And pricing wise, like I said, those beds were about $100 each. I might be able to fit, you know, depending on the plant, 6 to 8 plants in there. If they're squash, maybe 3, because they take up so much space. So let's do an average of 5 plants, okay? $100, 5 plants. These, they're actually on sale on Amazon, and I'll put a link to my Amazon store. You get 6 of them for $30. So 6 plants for $30, $100 for 5-6 plants. Pricing wise, this is the way to go. Step number 3 is going to a nursery. This could be Home Depot, this could be Lowe's, or a local nursery nearby you. You're gonna get raised bed gardening soil. Make sure it's raised bed gardening soil, because like I said in my intro video, I didn't buy that when I got into this. It was the wrong kind of soil. So raised bed gardening soil. And the second thing are starter plants. Starter plants are gonna be, like, these are all tomato plants, which just is part of my process to get free tomato plants all season. I'm making a video tomorrow on that, so make sure you watch that. But at the nursery, you're gonna see all these different types of fruits and vegetables that are starter plants that have a head start. So you're gonna wanna select anything that you're gonna wanna grow as starter plants, and that's the second thing on step number 3. The third thing on step number 3 is you're gonna want fertilizer. Now, I plan on making a video on fertilizers, granulars, synthetic, natural. In the beginning, just try to find a water-soluble fertilizer. That's the ones that you can throw in water and then water your plants with it. You can use Miracle-Gro products. I personally don't like them in the long run. They don't really do harm to your soil, but they make them less nutrient dense to your plants. So just get a water soluble organic fertilizer if your gardening center has that. If it doesn't have that, you can go ahead with the Miracle-Gro. Just make sure that you're not dosing it how it says. It's super strong. You might want to cut that dose in half. Okay, now for the bonus. So here's a tip. When you buy your starter plants, only buy stuff you actually like to eat. I can tell you from experience over the last 4 years, I planted so much different things because I was like, you know, really excited and I wanted a lot of variety, but there's stuff that I planted that I didn't really like to eat. So now I've narrowed it down. I know what kind of melons, what kind of squash, what kind of cucumbers, what kind of tomatoes, peanuts, corn, potatoes. I've narrowed it all down, and I only grow the stuff that me and my family like to eat. Now the bonus tip is for you to go on almanac.com. It's actually almanac.com/planting dates, and you're gonna put in your zip code. From there, you could print this list out. This is gonna give you your specific gardening zone. Like I'm in zone 9B, which is a huge blessing because I have a long growing season. For those of you that live in colder climates, you have a shorter growing season. So this whole list here is gonna have every kind of fruit and vegetable, the planting dates, like when you should start planting it in your garden, the latest you can plant it in your garden. I would suggest doing this first before everything that I just said. So when you do go to the nursery, you're actually buying plants that are okay to plant at this time of the year, which is at the time of filming July. But if you're watching this at a later date, you're gonna wanna use this so you're not planting, you know, you're in zone 3 and it's November and you're like, I wanna plant tomatoes. Well, they're gonna die. So there you go. That is how you can start growing your own food today. And tomorrow's video, and again, like I said in my intro video, I plan on pumping out videos pretty dang fast. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you're liking the videos, that helps the algorithm. In tomorrow's video, I'm gonna show you my process that I do to basically get free tomato plants all season long. It's simple, it's cheap, don't really need to spend any money on anything, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.